Okay. What's your name again?
Agent Glenn.
Agent Glenn?
Mm-hmm.
And your name is?
Agent Watlington.
Okay. Can I see your badge again or no?
Those are not able to be recorded, so no.
Okay.
So anyways, we've gotten complaints that you've made threatening communications on TikTok. And obviously you have First Amendment rights, but threatening someone's life.
So when I called y'all, when I called the FBI and told y'all that this little white girl went on on TikTok, and called out my address and called for the good old boys to show up to my house, y'all hung up the phone on me. FBI, yep, I recorded that. Y'all hung up the phone on me. So y'all coming to me, to my door, to talk to me about talking about criminals that deserve to die, like rapists and racists and pedophiles. Because that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a specific group of people.
Okay, so the only thing that I am saying on this is that threatening someone individually.
Well, I haven't threatened anyone individually.
That is the complaint that we got.
Okay.
Okay.
But why are you here, though? If that's the complaint that you got, why are you here, though?
So we're here because the complaint was made, and we are just informing you that if there's anything that you have on TikTok that you have done previously in the past, or that you might say in the future, that threatening someone individually, either death or personal harm, or encouraging others to do so, is not protected speech. Okay.
Okay. I don't.
And that is it.
That's it. So you just came to tell me that that's not protected speech.
That is not protected speech. And if
so how could I say this legally? How could I talk about this legally? How could I talk about putting racists and rapists and pedophiles to death legally? How would I talk about that under a protected way?
If you are speaking about things in general,
which I am, which I say we as a society damn near all the time. The only person that I've called out by name specifically is Petty Officer Anthony Highland, who apparently is in the Navy, who sexually assaulted me back in October of 2021. I've been trying to get y'all to do something about that since June of this year. I've gotten hung up on by NCIS. I've gotten hung up on by the FBI. I've gotten walked out on up here at the police station. Nobody wanted to take my report. But then y'all can show up at my house. This is what I be talking about on social media. We do all of this shit to the victims. Ain't nobody showed up at his door. Ain't nobody showed up at the rapist's door, the racist door that called my phone. Matter of fact, the dude just called me yesterday threatening to rape me. I've been sent his information in. Ain't nobody did nothing about these people, but y'all show up at my door. That's fucked up. Like, as women, y'all don't think that's fucked up?
So, we're just speaking about...
Of course, you can't really say anything because you have a fucking job that you have to fucking do, and you work for this shitty-ass fucking society that's already sexist as fuck. So none of the men that you work for give a fuck about you, and they don't give a fuck that you just showed up at a woman's goddamn door, a victim's door, where I've been fucking calling FBI, police, NCIS, CNIC, everybody I can. I'm sorry if you're tired, ma'am. You can leave if this is bothering you.
No, ma'am, you're just screaming profanities out.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Because y'all don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. If it's illegal, then send the police over here to arrest me. But this is the problem that I'm talking about. Y'all can show up to a victim's door. You can show up to a victim's door. Ma'am, my daughter's black, living in America. Y'all don't give a fuck about nobody in America. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Fox News is here. I'm amazed you guys even showed up. How are you here in public? It's hard to trust you guys when you backed a man like Bill O'Reilly for years, but it finally happened. Bill O'Reilly has been fired. But then you gave him a $25 million severance package, making it the only package he won't force a woman to touch. Now, in O'Reilly's defense, he was told by a close friend, when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. You guys are having a hard time with Jesse Waters right now, too. He's on a break right now. Right. He's on a break. Just like my childhood dog is staying at a farm upstate. I get it. I know that move. Now, I know some of you wondering, Hassan, how do you know so much about Fox News? Well, as a Muslim, I like to watch Fox News for the same reason I like to play Call of Duty. Sometimes, I like to turn my brain off and watch strangers insult my family and heritage. MSNBC is here tonight, and I'm glad you guys are here tonight. That way, if I'm bombing, Brian Williams will describe it as stunning. MSNBC, it's hard to trust you guys when you send us so many mixed messages. On one hand, you tell us the prison industrial complex is the problem, and then you air 5 straight hours of lockup. You can't be mad at corporations profiting off of minorities in prison when you're a corporation profiting off of minorities in prison. It's like, you're the liberal news outlet. Like, we dress the same. I look like a melanin version of Chris Hayes. I want to root for you guys, but you're turning into conspiracy theorists every night. You're like, the Russians hacked our elections. The Russians hacked our elections. Meanwhile, everybody in Latin America and the Middle East is like, oh, a foreign government tampered with your elections? What is that like? Dude, tell MSNBC. Just pump the brakes. We're only on day 100. By the end of the year, you guys all gonna have tinfoil hats and jars of urine all over your desks. Now, I had a lot more MSNBC jokes, but I don't want to just ramble on, otherwise I might get a show on MSNBC. Last but not least, my favorite entertainment channel is in the building tonight. CNN is here, baby. Now, you guys got some really weird trust issues going on with the public. I'm not gonna call you fake news, but everything isn't breaking news. You can't go to DEFCON 1 just because Sanjay Gupta found a new moisturizer. Every time a story breaks, you guys go to 9 screens, 9 boxes on the screen. I'm trying to watch the news, not pick a player in Street Fighter. It's giving me anxiety. If you have 9 experts on a panel, what is your barrier of entry? But every time I watch CNN, it feels like you're assigning me homework. Is Trump a Russian spy? I don't know. You tell me. Tweet us at AC360. No, you tell me. I'm watching the news. But it feels like I'm watching CNN watch the news. Please, just take an hour. Figure out what you want to say, then go on the air. But whenever I turn you guys on, it feels like a little kid just ran into the room and is trying to tell you a story. You're just like, where's the wall? The 1.5 mil. 1.5 mil. All right. Breathe.
Well,
do you want your
if you are a
parent or
parent, this
guardians
is for
to
you.
be your best friend? And what does it look like?
talking about
I mean, we want to hear what you say.
Somebody's over here.
Smiley coming up.
So in my house, with my mom, it was always everything was up for discussion. Everything was up for discussion because my mama, she a real understanding person. So it was literally a conversation I had growing up with me. I'm a real knowledgeable person. I like to know a lot of stuff. So so the way I would come across and say things, she'll be like, I know you're not coming from a standpoint of you trying to be disrespectful to people, but some people don't understand you how I understand you, so you might have to correct yourself. So I literally had a conversation with my mom. I was like, okay, I'm finna tell you stuff and stop me when I get disrespectful. I express my feelings, but that don't happen with everybody. And so when I was standing up here and you guys were like, don't belittle your children, but the whole statement of you're not on my level sounds like belittlement to us. It's saying you don't have as much value as me. You're not as important to me. You don't put up what I put up, so you can't have a say so in what we do. You don't pay bills. You don't own this house. You don't pay for nothing. So and it's
that's good.
And it.
Go ahead.
And when you bring up the stuff that you do for your children, it makes us feel like a burden. It makes us feel like I can't wait till I grow up so I don't have to be a burden to you anymore. If you say it's like when people be like your parents had a life before you, it makes you feel like I made you so miserable and bitter and like I just don't want to be here anymore because you don't want me to be here anymore. So why should I be here and put my best foot forward if the person who gave birth to me and made me come in this life doesn't want me? How am I supposed to look at somebody else for love if I feel like I'm not getting love at home? What do you do when you want to have somebody to talk to, but they like you can't talk to them? You go to somebody else to talk to, and that's not who you want us to talk to. How am I supposed to come and talk to you, and you don't listen to me, but somebody else may listen to me, but they not gonna treat me how you want me to be treated? You love me, but you don't show it. But they don't love me, but they act like they love me. So I'm going to go to the person that acts like they love me, and not the person who. I'm going to go to the person who acts like they love me, because when you grow up like this, and you grow up with people who emotionally stunt your growth, you go looking for other people, and you insecure. You go looking for other people for sex, for people who going to tell you, oh, you're pretty. That's why the first person to tell you you're pretty, I'm glad my mama never. They say your parent and your family is your first bully. Point out every insecurity you have, and then you want your kids to feel beautiful and smart and go to school with people who telling them the same thing you tell them. That's not going to work. You can't You can't want to be your children's love and shelter, but you're not that. That's materialistic things. If God was only materialistic to you, you will feel hurt. You need to have your spirit be healed. You need to have your spirit be fed. It's okay to have clothes and shoes and all this stuff, but what about my spirit? What about my emotions? What about my mental state? You can't be, you look pretty on the outside. You got me nice shoes. You got me nice things, but I'm